The slasher genre has produced a lot of great films and a lot of not so great films. Despite the slasher genre shortcomings at times, we cannot deny the slasher genre has a lot of iconic horror movie villains. Who would you say is the greatest horror villain of all time? Is it Michael Myers, aka The Shape, also known as the Boogeyman? Is it Freddy Krueger, part-time child molester, part-time child killer, who also stalks your dreams? Good luck getting away from that dude. Is it Leatherface, the cross-dressing family man who wears other people's skin so he can feel pretty? Or is it Jason Voorhees, the mama's boy, who is also known as a Camp Crystal Lake security guard? And in my opinion, these are staples in the horror slasher genre. Now you got guys like Ghostface, the Miner from My Bloody Valentine, Pinhead, Jigsaw, Pumpkinhead, and so forth and so forth. But for today's video, I'm not going to name all them guys because it'll be a 2-hour long video and I don't feel like it. At the end of the video, I would like for you guys to comment and tell me, who do you think is the greatest horror villain of all time and your reasoning. In the conclusion, I will take as who I think is the greatest horror villain. And it may shock you, probably won't shock you because it's probably an easy answer. Well, at least for me. Now, when I did research for these videos, not gonna lie to you guys, got a headache because slasher movies, right? So a quick rant on slasher movies. Slasher movies, what's the word I'm looking for? Can be very dumb at times. You know, can be very contradicting. Sometimes it don't just outright not make sense at all. You know what I'm saying? You got like Michael Myers. No, he started from just a regular serial killer, then he was in a cult. Jason Voorhees, he was a serial killer, undead zombie. Then he turned into a snake worm spirit thing that when his soul got into your body, you turned to Jason Voorhees, no matter who you was. Chucky, the movie just got bad. After the second one, they just said fuck it, just throw everything at the wall, and wherever sticks, we gonna film it. And that's how it represented on the movie screen. The scene of Chucky's pretty good. Also, side note, Chucky TV series, so fucking good. Shout out to Sci-Fi. Leatherface. This may come off as like blasphemy for me to say this because, you know, I am 25 years old. So the original 1974 movie came out, and obviously I was nowhere even born yet. I don't think the original was that good. And maybe it was good for the audience in the 70s because they never seen, you know, a killing or all this and all that. Born in 98, that was like a daily thing to see on TV. So when I saw the 1974 original back in like 2015, I was like, what the fuck? This movie's terrible. I'm not saying all these movies are terrible because I did like Platinum Films remake of the 1974 original, Jessica Alba. But besides that, that's my little rant on the slasher villains because oh yeah, Freddy Krueger. Don't get me started on Freddy Krueger, man. Freddy had like a great opener. The original Nightmare on Elm Street in the 1980, 83, 84. The original Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my god, man! I'm gonna have to do a whole video about that. That movie is and was so good. Probably greatest slasher, oh my god, slasher movie of all time. Creepy, a unique killer. Like, they had a young Johnny Depp in that bitch. But then after that, the second movie came out and weird, a little weird for my liking. I don't know why they decided to have a guy getting whipped in the shower, bondage style, butt ass naked. What type of freak shit Freddy was on, man? What type of freak shit Freddy was on, man? And then the main character went to a gay bar on his gym teacher. The main actor, who actually was gay, got outed it from that movie because everybody was like, oh my god, wait, you're gay? He's like, no, I'm not gay. But years later, he said, yeah, he was gay, but he was too scared to come out because the movie. So that's a weird backstory on that movie. Then the remake of 2010 was something crazy, like ass terrible. That's my rant. Hope you guys enjoyed that little rant. Let's get into the video. But right before we get into the video, my name is Jimmy Class. I make video essays about every other week or once a month because I have other YouTube channels I had to attend to. I make video essays about wrestling, movies, and music sometimes. So if that's your interest, you consider subscribing. And let's get into the video. Our client needs no introduction. He is the most unique slasher villain of all time. He's not one of your regular, slashy. Our client, Freddy Krueger, who was born in Springwood, Ohio, to Amanda Krueger in 1942. You guys probably didn't even know that. Freddy Krueger had a troubling childhood from the beginning. His mother, Amanda Krueger, worked a mental ward as a nurse. She got accidentally locked in the mental ward for the whole weekend and was raped by 100 inmates. Now, I don't know how she even survived that. My personal opinion, I'm not a woman. I didn't think that somebody could survive from that. But she did. And 9 months later, Freddy Krueger was born. There is not a lot of information known about Freddy Krueger's dad. It's not too much information about Freddy Krueger's childhood. If you look at Freddy is Dead, The Final Nightmare, Freddy was abused as a child by his father. Father was also a drunk, an alcoholic. He was abused so much that he started to like it. He started to enjoy it. After that, we have no more information about Freddy Krueger until we fast forward until he was an adult, where he became a janitor / housekeeper for the elementary school. Now, this is where the story gets kind of wonky. So in the original 1984-85 Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger killed kids in the kindergarten he worked at. Just killed. There was no hint and no other sexual innuendos. Parents found out. Parents chased Freddy to abandoned factory. He locked himself into the factory. They said, "Alright, can't get you like that. Take this Molotov cocktail. Have a good one." They threw the Molotov cocktails. Freddy was now burnt alive and he was pronounced dead. In the 2010 remake, it is heavily implied that he did more than kill those kids. Also, in the 2010 remake, which is a very good twist that they did, they also implied that Freddy was innocent. So when the parents ended up killing him, he became an angry spirit that wanted revenge. Because if parents never found his secret lair, kids said Krueger took him down to his secret lair and did some things to him. He grew up, found the secret lair, which implied that he was lying. But that's just the 2010 remake. The original one says kill the kids. It's up to you, the audience, to decide whether you want to believe the 2010 remake or the original. So I'm going with the original. Years ago by now. The parents are much older and the kids are now high school. Everything is fine and dandy until Nancy starts seeing a burnt figure in her dream trying to kill her with blades for fingers in his iconic red and green sweater, which I think is red and black in some movies. In some movies red and green, and some movies red and black, I think, unless I'm just colorblind. But Freddy is back. He's hunting down all the Elm Street kids and killing them in their dream. Now, these are Freddy's strengths. Now, any person who has ever heard of Freddy will know his strength. Biggest strength, killing people in their dreams. But I want to go a little bit deeper on that. A lot of people do not talk about the psychological warfare Freddy plays with his victim. Humans need to sleep. That's one of the main things we need to survive is sleep. 6 to 8 hours every night. Without getting sleep, you are more prone to develop high blood pressure, diabetes, suffer a heart attack, and have a stroke. You can also experience impulsive behavior, anxiety, develop depression, and also thoughts of suicide. And you can also experience something called microsleep. Microsleeping is falling asleep for several seconds without knowing you have fallen asleep until it's too late. Messing with Freddy until it's too late. All he needs a few seconds and you're gone, baby. Gone. Night sleeping also causes mood swings, irrational decision making, which also can cause fight with your family and any other loved one that's in your close circle. Take Nancy and her mom. Nancy and her mom relationship got strained because Nancy didn't have a lot of sleep. She started arguing with her mom, and her mom was saying that she needs to go to sleep because that's the reason why she acting this way. And Nancy saying, "Bitch, I'm not going to sleep because there's a burnt figure in my face." And the mom was like, "Look, that's like something a crazy person would say who hasn't had any sleep." Nancy saying, "Bitch, I'm not crazy. I'm not going to sleep. There's a man trying to kill me." Mom would be like, "Okay, honey, take these sleeping pills and go to sleep." Nancy was like, "I'll take them." She take them and throw it back out of her mouth. Stuff like that is things that people don't realize. Freddy is more than just a killer. He's a mad, evil genius, man. I'm telling you. Constant fighting with your family and friends, and also Freddy going to sleep because there's a man trying to kill you, makes Freddy a very unique character because he's killing you in both ways. Killing you physically and mentally. Whether using brute strength like Jason, Michael, and Leatherface, He was his mind game. He was his mind games to break you down to submission. The point of killing yourself or letting him do the killing. Now his weaknesses. Freddy has two main weaknesses. Fire, being pulled into the real world. Now, being burnt alive while he was a human, it will make sense that fire will cause fear into the nightmare demon himself. Now, the second one, being dragged into the real world. Now you ask, how can you do this? Here's how you do it. Make sure somebody is awake while you're trying to go to sleep, or hurt yourself in the dream, because whatever happens to you in the dream affects you in real life. So if you burn yourself in the dream, you burn yourself in real life, will cause you pain in real life, will make you wake up. Once Freddy chases you, grab him. And once you grab him, you better hope that God, your friend, didn't fall asleep and wakes you up, or you have enough self-awareness to burn yourself or hurt yourself to wake yourself up. And once you hurt yourself or the friend wakes you up and you grab hold of Freddy, Freddy is now in the real world. And now, once he in the real world, man, it's time to give him that two-piece. Give him two-piece, fuck him up, beat him up, or do like Nancy did and Home Alone his ass. Booby trap your whole house. In conclusion, Freddy Krueger is Freddy Krueger is the most unique horror villain of all time. Quick wit, great ways of killing people. He is a fan favorite, which a lot of people peg him as the greatest horror villain of all time. I rest my case. That was cute. Freddy Krueger is the most unique. My client. Oh, first of all, I'll start about my client right here. Okay, here we go. My client redefined. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen in the comment section? My client. If it wasn't for this client right here, there will be no Freddy Krueger. There will be no Leatherface. There will be no Jigsaw, Ghostface, Pumpkin. Who are these guys? Without my client, these guys will be in the world for office. And I'm talking about Michael Myers, aka The Shape, aka the Boogeyman. He is the horror villain. He made being a slasher villain cool. You understand me? He made people cool. All that slow walking, it's still catching up to you. He made it cool, man. He made it cool. He brought the swag. Make sure y'all hear me. He brought the swag. To kill him. The year was 1979. 1979. Yeah, Leatherface may have beaten him by what, 10 years, 9 years. But who, man, my client said, okay, Leatherface, you cool. Now watch me do this. Michael Myers was born October 19, 1957. So Freddy, you may be older than Michael Myers. Michael Myers still big broed you. He was born in Haddonfield, Illinois. The same city, the same state. He will terrorize for the next 30, 40 years. There isn't a lot of information about his mother, his father, but if you want to talk about the Rob Zombie remake, which we're gonna have to, because the story gotta find a common ground here. We do know that his mother was a stripper, and I guess she's very bad at it. They were still struggling. I will only take information from Halloween 1, not the Rob Zombie remake, because Halloween 2 is remake god awful.
You know that new waitress over at the Bingo Lounge? She can give me the freaky eye.
Oh, the whore with the big tits hanging down to her knees?
Maybe I'll choke the chicken, purge my snorkel all over them flappy ass tits.
Good, we'll have a good fucking time.
I will.
I hope she likes cripples.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
Oh, I'll get the crutches for you.
We will only take information from Halloween 1979, the first half of Rob Zombie's remake, because the backstory, we need a little backstory behind Michael Myers as a kid, and Halloween 2018. Halloween Kills, but not Halloween Ends. I'm not talking about that movie. Trash ass movie, though. Halloween night 1963, Michael Myers decided to kill his older sister Judith because her and her boyfriend was making sexy freaky time, and I guess he didn't like it. Stabby, stabby, stab. After that, the parents, right after he did that too, his parents came home, saw that, cried, whatever. He was sent to the psychiatric home. Now, when he first got to the psychiatric facility, he seemed to forget what happened on that night. He even asked his mother, who visited him, asking her what happened and is Judith okay. The longer Michael Myers stayed there, the more evil he got, and every time he wanted to go home, he was denied by his doctor, Samuel Loomis. Now this was going on for a long time, and he grew a lot of frustration. With the frustration, he took his third victim, nurse, in the psychiatric home because he wanted to go home. And with his mother actually witnessing his third kill and seeing the destruction her son was putting in the world, decided she is no longer meant for this world herself, as she reminisced about when Michael was a child and he was happy. 15 years later, Michael Myers broke out of the hospital as he was being transported to another facility, killing a mechanic, stealing his jumpsuit, and breaking into a Halloween store, stealing his iconic William Shatner face mask. After 15 years of being in a mental ward, finally is home, and as he approaches his home, he sees Laurie Strode. Now there are two theories about why Michael Myers has had a hard-on for Laurie Strode for these past 30 years. Theory 1 is not as flushed out as like theory 2, but I'm gonna tell you guys anyway. Theory 1 is basically Michael Myers saw Laurie and said, "Hey, I want to kill her." That's it. Nothing. It's not really thought-provoking. Now, theory 2. Now this theory aligns with the original Rob Zombies and the sequel, the 2018 sequel to the 1978 Halloween. Now this theory is that Laurie Strode's dad owns Strode Real Estate Agency. In 1978, Laurie is told by her dad to drop some keys off at the house. In the Rob Zombie movie, she is told to drop some mail off there. This theory, in this universe, Michael Myers can read, and he realizes that this girl, this lady, is trying to take over his childhood home, and all he wants to do is be in his house, be in his home alone, bars. But he noticed that Laurie is trying to take it away from him, and he wants to kill her to stop her from trying to take his childhood home away from him. A side plot, which is not as flushed out again, but it's also one I would like to share. Theory is that Michael Myers hates sex. He hates sex. Because in the original movie, in the remake, every time the beginning of the movie, Michael Myers killed his sister because his sister had sex, or right after they had sex. Also in that movie, he killed Laurie Strode's friend after she got done having sex too. So the theory is every time he sees somebody having sex, it enrages him. Honestly, Michael Myers kind of sounds like an incel to me. Also, anybody that favors his sister Judith, he also wants to kill them too, because that also enrages him. I guess he really didn't like his sister. Now, the main question is, what is Michael Myers' end game? Is it to kill Laurie Strode? Does my client want to just go home? Or is Michael Myers the embodiment of, and he is the devil who was sent here to cause nothing but harm, destruction to nobody know besides Mike, and that makes him the most dangerous horror villain of all time. Now, strengths: Michael Myers isn't some nightmare chasing demon like Freddy Krueger. We all can't be that unique. A lot of people see Michael Myers as just quiet, rude, just using nothing but his pure strength, which is true. It's a fair assumption, but in order for Michael Myers to get to his victim, he has to play in the shadows. That is his biggest strength, playing in the shadows, being stealthy. If you pay attention, if you put the thinking, if you turn this on, every time he kills somebody, he's in the shadows, he's hiding. A predator waiting for his prey, like Splinter Cell, Metal Gear Solid, Snake. He's like an assassin, legs in the shadows, quiet. Don't know till he's on you, and it's over. You think you're safe? No. He's watching you walk, patterns. As soon as you're alone, strikes like a cobra. He's everywhere you think you're safe. Bathroom, alone in the park, but you're never really safe. Michael didn't graduate high school. Think about that. Turn this on. Turn this back on. Turn this back on. Didn't graduate high school. He didn't graduate middle school. But for some reason, he's very intelligent. More intelligent than an ordinary man. He uses distractions to get you in one place. He attacks. Prime example, Halloween 2018. Michael leaves a blood trail to misguide Laurie, think that he's over this way, but he's really behind one of her mannequins. Nobody's doing that in the horror genre. Nobody. Now Michael has 3 main weaknesses. All the strengths, how smart he is. Sometimes he turned this thing off. Sometimes this thing does not have a light up here. His first weakness is his mask. Every time somebody takes off his mask, that's his first priority. It could be the middle of fighting, and then as soon as somebody touches his mask, he panics, he freaks out, he grabs his mask and put it back on. Halloween Kills is a prime example. Lindsay tries to take his mask off, Michael stops killing her in order to fix his mask. Halloween Kills again. Karen, Laurie's daughter, takes Michael's mask knowing he will chase her, which he did. She leads him right into a trap. Second weakness, which a lot of people don't talk about, is his sister Judith. Every time he breaks out of the Smiths Groves insane asylum, he heads directly towards her grave. In the original, he actually removed her tombstone and put it back into his home. If anybody was smart enough, they will use that against him. If somebody was to take that element, use it against him, it'd be the easiest win of their life. His last and final weakness is his childhood home. In 1978, 2007, 2009, every time he wanted to find Michael, he's at his childhood home. 1978, headed to his childhood home after escaping Smith Groves. And in 2018, he headed back there 40 years later. If you wanted to catch Michael, you know where to catch him, at his childhood home. If you want to kill him, that's where you can find him at. But after hearing all the weaknesses, you probably wonder to yourself, how those are his weaknesses, so how can you kill him? Nobody knows. Man, he got shot to death, beat to death, set afire, beat up by Busta Rhymes. Unless you count Halloween Ends, where over here on this side, we don't talk about that movie. The movie is terrible. I'll keep saying it. Trash ass movie. Now, in conclusion, my client Michael Myers is the embodiment of evil. Look at evil in the dictionary. Picture Michael Myers' face. Don't know why he kills. Only he knows. The only thing we know for sure, know for certain, is that he damn good at killing. Been 40 years. Man has been shot multiple times, stabbed with a knife, stabbed with a rake, eaten with a bat, poked in the eye with a clothes hang, losing the eye in the process, set afire, eaten up by Busta Rhymes, and he's still alive, still here. This man is immortal. This man, godfather of slasher genre, and possibly most dangerous serial killer slasher genre ever. I rest my case. It's funny the way that last lawyer, he has said that his client grandfather the slasher genre. That's cute. My client was the first slasher villain. My client broke the boundaries of making a movie like Halloween even possible. My client had to deal with the controversy of people want to cancel my movie because they said the movie was too violent. It's the most disgusting movie they've ever seen. My client had to deal with that. Oh, his client had to deal with some controversy too, but not like my client. My client had to wear the backlash he received. Still was considered one of the greatest movies of all time in that decade, in that era, still to this day. My client don't need no introduction. My client made it okay for Michael, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Jigsaw, all of them actually show their killings on camera. I got my client, me and my client has respect for Norman Bates, Peeping Tom, and the Phantom, but they aren't Leatherface. Let's get that straight. You see Leatherface, man, ask yourself, what makes him different? Was a mask and his signature weapon is a chainsaw? A loud chainsaw that makes him slow when you're running? The big deal about that? Those are valid questions. I know that mask made out of human skin. That's a cute question till you find out that half of his house made out of human skin. Yeah, see, Jason, Michael, and Freddy, they ain't cutting people's skin off, putting on their face, or making tears out of skin. They're not hanging their victims up like some cow meat and slaughter them alive, cutting them alive. They ain't doing nothing like that. So if you're unlucky enough to find yourself crossing paths with Leatherface and you survive, may end up like Aaron. Aaron had the unfortunate fate to see Leatherface wearing her boyfriend's skin as a face. Leatherface comes from a play background from the start. Once again, Leatherface's mother gave birth to him in the meat factory. He ends up dying while giving birth to Leatherface. The owner of the meat factory takes Leatherface, the baby, throws him in the trash, and he is then found by May Hewitt. I'm probably saying that wrong. May Hewitt? It's May Hewitt. Leatherface is then nurtured from just baby to a full-blown cannibal. Leatherface will be named Jedi. There's some weird ass name. Jedi. I think it's Jedi. Leatherface will be named Jedi. Please correct me in the comment section because I may be wrong. He was a recluse. Didn't have much friends. He didn't have much interaction with his peers. When he did have interaction with his peers, they would bully him. He was born with a skin disease, resulting in him having a soft nose and other abnormal features. He also developed a mental disease which caused him to develop slow mentally. So he was a fully grown man, brain of a 12-year-old. Leatherface was also mentally and physically abused by his own family, and with him having his mental disease, couldn't voice his frustration. He chose violence as his way of expressing his pain. Leatherface's biggest and only strength is his family. Leatherface didn't have the mental capacity of Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers. He couldn't outthink his victims, but his families could. His families will lure the victims to him, and Leatherface will do the rest. Whether it be his cousin or his police uncle, Leatherface always had help from his family. Leatherface has two big weaknesses. Weakness number one, he's just a man. Now, you may think, well, Michael Myers just a man, Jason just a man. Well, sometimes they are more than just human. Leatherface never got that luxury of being just human, right? Leatherface isn't some dream demon, or he doesn't have superhuman strength. He is just a boy in a man's body looking for love. That's about it. Weakness number two, and his biggest weakness, is his family. Now you may ask, how can his family be his strength and his weakness? His family forces Leatherface, this grown man with the mind of a 4-year-old, to kill people. They manipulated him. They turned him from a child to a killer. And Leatherface doesn't know right from wrong. So he thinks killing people is the right thing to do. So eventually, once Leatherface is caught and sent to prison, in his mind, he'll think, why am I in here? If I was doing the right thing. In reality, in our reality, we know that killing people is wrong. So when he finally is caught, it will be because of his family. His family is not always going to protect him. In conclusion, for my client, no Leatherface, no Michael Myers. Leatherface is the blueprint for being a slasher villain. Without Leatherface, the slasher genre would not be what it is today. Without Leatherface, the slasher genre would not have had its boom in the late 70s, 90s. In the early 70s, 2013, always count on Leatherface delivering brutal executions. And you better be prepared to fight to the death, because he is. I'll rest my case. Alright, now we got all the other hoopla out the way. It's time for the best. We saved the best for last, baby. You hear what I said to you? We saved the best for last, man. Man, Jason Voorhees. I rest my case. But no, in all seriousness, Jason Voorhees is the most iconic slasher villain of all time. This man was on the Arsenio Hall show in the 90s. You don't know who Arsenio Hall is, man, go do your research. And you too young for this video. Arsenio Hall owned the late night talk show in the 90s. If you wanted to promote some shit, if you had a new rap album coming out, pop song, movie, go on his show, guaranteed so you have some eyeballs on that movie. You understand me? Jason Voorhees as a slasher character was on there. He didn't say not one word, had the crowd going crazy. What's good, nigga? With his trademark hockey mask and his machete, Jason Voorhees is the slasher villain. Now, son, you got some Jason haters that say, oh, Jason Voorhees is just Leatherface and Michael Myers and nothing special and blah blah and blah blah. And by all means, Friday the 13th did come out 2 years after Halloween to cash on that Halloween success. But say what you want about all that, Friday the 13th was the blueprint for movies like Saw and Hostel. Let me tell you why. Really put more emphasis on the gore, blood, and special effects. Special effects Friday the 13th, all of them were phenomenal. And they had the most famous, the greatest special effect artists working on Friday the 13th, Thomas Vincent Savini. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. So let's not forget, Friday the 13th also had its influence on the slasher genre. The story of Jason is so well known that I shouldn't have to explain it to you guys, but I'm gonna do it anyway in case some people in the back don't know who the fuck Jason Voorhees is. Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees, was very overprotective of her son. Jason was born June 13, 1946 with a disease that made his head grow abnormally large. I mean, had a bowling ball on his head, and a mental disability which slowed his development down. With this being known, Pamela wanted her son under her watch 24/7 because she didn't trust the world, and I don't blame her. The world can be cruel, especially kids. Fuck them kids. But they were financially struggling. Pamela got offered a job at Camp Crystal Lake as a cook. Pamela took the job, but not wanting to leave her son alone, she enrolled Jason in summer camp as well. Jason not know how to communicate with others because he was kept in hiding. That can happen. Added to the fact that he didn't like the other kids and he had a mental disease. He was bullied a lot. Bullied quite frequently. One day, Jason was being bullied so much, ran away in the woods and ran towards the lake, ultimately falling in and unfortunately drowned. Pamela was cooking after she got done with her shift, went to look for her son, ultimately finding out that he was dead. After that, Pamela vowed to kill all camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake. She found out that the camp counselors who were teenagers like the fuck. That's why they wasn't watching Jason, and that's why in every single Friday the 13th movie, everybody that has sex in the movie, he kills them, and the virgin in the movie always lives. Keep that. Go back and watch a Friday the 13th movie. The virgin always lives. Contrary to popular belief, but for you guys who don't know this, Friday the 13th didn't even include Jason. His mother was the killer in the first Friday the 13th. And I didn't find that out until like 2008 and 2009. I remember watching that as a kid with my mom, and it's like, first of all, I was like, why the fuck is it in the first person mode? And second of all, where the hell is Jason? Jason didn't come out until the next Friday the 13th movie, after his mother died. At the end of the first movie, Pamela was beheaded by one of the surviving counselors. Jason, he survived the drowning, and once he found his mother's head, it traumatized him, which ultimately started the cycle. Now he is now the killer. Jason has two big strengths. Number one, his brute, superhuman strength. Jason honestly was doing the wrong sport. His ass should be on the football field. Crush somebody's head with his bare hand. You heard what I said to you? He crushed somebody's head with his bare hands. And he even knocks this dude head off his shoulders with one punch. It's amazing. Now you put Jason Voorhees on that fucking defensive line, I bet you he averages 10 sacks per game. He put two fully grown women in a sleeping bag and slings them around like it's nothing. Back and forth, left and right, killing them both. He most definitely missed his calling to play in the National Football League. His second strength, hunting skills, and his IQ. Now, Jason is very resourceful when it comes to killing people. When Jason is in the woods, he is an apex predator. In the 2009 remake, he is setting bear traps. He sets alarm bells near his house, notify him when somebody is closing in on him, and he even develops archery skill.
Nice cock.
Even though he is mentally disabled, turn this on when it comes to killing, he's unstoppable. Here is another Michael Myers comparison. He plays in the shadows and walking slow, but you better believe he will catch up to it. Think you safe, you are not safe no matter where you at. Be in the woods, cabin, even in New York, you're not safe. In conclusion, my client, Jason Voorhees, highly intelligent. Do not let the disformed face fool you. Jason had the most kills until his arch nemesis Michael Myers passed him up in 2022 because his last movie came out and got extra kills. So he's cheating. If Michael Myers had that movie come out, Halloween Ends, Jason Voorhees would have the most killers. But Michael Myers likes to cheat, so Michael Myers is. But technically, Jason Voorhees has the most kills. My client has the most movies, the most kills, and he is the most skilled. Michael Myers does not have the hunting capacity of Jason Voorhees, doesn't have the archery skills. Freddy Krueger doesn't have the brute strength, and Leatherface does not have the intelligence that Jason Voorhees has. What else can I say about my client? I rest my case. Now that everybody has presented their case for their client, it's my turn for my opinion. If you would have asked this question 2 or 3 years ago, I would have said Freddy Krueger, because he's funny, charming, and very unique. But after doing my research and watching all the movies and looking at the comic books for each characters, looking at the backstories, Michael Myers hands down the greatest slasher villain of all time. His story is confusing, but in a good way, if that makes sense. We know why Jason killed. We know why Freddy killed. Leatherface was groomed to be a killer, but Michael does it for some unknown reason. And every time they try to explain it in the movies, it doesn't work. Whether it's the occult, killing because he don't like Laurie, he's killing because Laurie trying to take over his house, or he's just killing just to kill. Is he an evil spirit? And how come you cannot kill this dude? You're not talking about Halloween Ends, that trash ass movie. Is he a science experiment? And is that why you can't kill him? Did the government do some experiments on Michael while he was in psych ward to make him immortal, to make him not feel pain, to make him not have feelings? We don't know. That's the intriguing part. Nobody knows. You can have your dream demon that kills people and comes back from dog pee. You guys know that now. Halloween 4, Freddy Krueger got pissed on, and that's how he came back. A dog pissed on his corpse and he came back. You can have your mentally ill grown adult baby being manipulated by his cannibal family. You can have him. I like Jason, but I think Jason is literally Michael Myers, but just stronger and more brutal. Jason is Michael Myers, but a dumber version, a downgrade, as you would say. And that's why I can't put Jason over Michael Myers. I mean, the comparison is right there. Jason does the slow walking chase like Michael Myers. He stares at you and breathes hard like Michael Myers. He's mute like Michael Myers. Somehow they both have teleporting powers. Michael did everything first besides mentality, and Jason just copied it. Jason is more intelligent than Michael Myers though. He has more skills. Like I said, he has the archery skills, the hunting skills, all this and all that. But in my opinion, Michael Myers is the scariest and the most iconic slasher villain of all time out of Leatherface, Freddy, Jason. I know I mentioned Chucky in the intro. I recorded an intro like 2 months ago, and I was doing research for Chucky, and I was like, man, I don't think Chucky's a forefather, man. Not a forefather. You know, forefathers are just 4 people. Founding fathers, forefathers, same thing. And you would have asked me, he's top 5. Michael, Jason, Freddy, Leather, Chucky, then Ghostface. That's my 6. My top 5 is Michael, Leather, Jason, Freddy. But Michael Myers, no nonsense mentality, no reasoning for killing, the lack of empathy, the high body count, and his will to just keep killing no matter how hurt he is makes him the greatest of all time. And that is the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think is the greatest slasher villain of all time? Let's have an open discussion in the comment section. I'm looking forward to reading all y'all comments. Jason, Leatherface, and Freddy all have strong fan bases, and I cannot wait. Y'all cuss me out in the comment section. Tell me how wrong I am. But if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section so I can become a content creator. Have a great day and stay safe. Thank you all for watching this long ass video. Bye.